YouTube, what is up? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with the Star Wars The Black Series, Reva the Third Sister from Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is that show on Disney Plus. I love that show, man. I thought it was a pretty great show. Very, very excited. Season one was great. I'm sure there's going to be a season two, so I'm very, very excited for that. Can't wait for it to come out. Reva was actually one of my favorite characters on the show, man. I know a lot of people, she gets a lot of hate from people, but I don't know. I guess that's the popular thing today is to hate on people, which, I think that's kind of whack because I think she's really cool. I really enjoyed her character. She's got a fire to her, man. She just that rage. She's really cool character. I'm gonna do my best to avoid spoilers in this video, but as you saw from the title, there's always the possibility that something might slip out. But I'm gonna try to do my best to keep away from any major spoilers for those of you who haven't seen Obi-Wan Kenobi yet. But yeah, man, very very excited for this figure. I got her at Frankensons. Like I told you guys, I got a lot of figures at Frankensons that day. So yeah, she's another one of the figures I got. You can see her right here in the packaging. We got Star Wars Black Series, Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, Reva the Third Sister, ages 4 and plus, Hasbro. Got the dope side art right there. I really love that art of Reva. That is like a really, really cool shot of Reva right there. That's dope. And here is a look at the bottom. Here's the, we call this the PLU, a little code if you need that. You guys, for any of you who are interested. And here is a look at the back. Now the Obi-Wan figures, they all have the same bio and it's pretty generic, it doesn't really give an in-depth bio about the actual character. It's more of just a generic, description of the show. So this one reads, Reva the Third Sister. Obi-Wan Kenobi is set years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi faced the corruption of his friend and Jedi apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, turned Sith Lord Darth Vader. So yeah, I really like that Obi-Wan, picks up right after Revenge of the Sith pretty much. Well, not right after, but, several years after Revenge of the Sith, but it definitely gives kind of fills in that timeline between episodes 3 and 4 a little bit, and it's shedding some light into all the events that took place within that time. Because I was kind of curious about when Obi-Wan took place. I wasn't really sure going into the show until they kind of broke it down in the first episode. How long it had been since Revenge of the Sith and all that. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I'm loving this show. I'm really really excited for season two. And yeah, so without further ado, let's crack this open and get to Reva. Full name Reva Savander, by the way. I've heard a lot of people call her Reva. Her name is Reva, y'all. Just to put it out there, there's actually a video of Moses Ingram, who is the actress that plays her, saying her name. So that's proof right there. I'll actually have that linked in the description so you can see it. But yeah, her name is pronounced Reva. Reva Savander. Alrighty. Out the package. One more snip here. There we go. Alrighty, ready. Here we go. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let's see, move this aside, put that to there, and here is the great Reva Savander, Third Sister Inquisitor. Yes, indeed. So there you go. Very, very good looking figure in and out of the box, man. I really, really like that they captured the likeness. First of all, pretty freaking good head sculpt, I gotta say, and we'll get into that, in more detail in just a minute. But of course, I'm going to put her aside for just a second and look at her accessories. And she actually comes with quite a few, so that's really dope. Very excited to take a look at all of these. She comes with, you know, more than your average character, so that is pretty dope. So you got the double-sided version of her lightsaber, which looks really, really good. Check out the details on that up close. I really like the choice of silver paint that they went with for this. Looks very, very good. And then you got the black in there. Hopefully you guys can see that, all the details. Looks really, really dope, this Inquisitor lightsaber. Because she is indeed an inquisitor, the third sister. And for those of you that don't know, inquisitors are not the same as Sith Lords. They are dark side users, but they're not considered Sith Lords. You know, they hunt Jedi basically, and they serve, you know, Darth Vader under the Empire, but they're not they're not considered Sith Lords. They're technically Jedi turned to dark side users. And I haven't really seen, I know the Inquisitors showed up in like Star Wars, I think the Clone Wars or maybe Rebels. I'm actually watching Star Wars the Clone Wars right now. I'm only on season 1 though, so I've got a long way to go. But I know that in one of those shows the Inquisitor shows up. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I don't know as much about the Inquisitors as I could, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, you can see the double-sided lightsaber looks really, really good. Very nice deep red blades. And the hilt looks really cool. You can see it's got a peg right there on the end. Right there, because it is going to be able to plug into her belt, which we'll see in a minute. And then we've got a little bit more tape off of here. There we go. And we have her split version of the lightsabers right here. So you got the single kind of split version of the lightsaber hilt. Again, very, very good detail. Shout out to Hasbro on this. Very nicely done. Got the silver paint again with the black. That part looks really, really cool. Got the nice deep red again for the blades. That looks really dope. And then you get another one for the other side. Really, really nicely done. Love the paint apps on these. Very, very cool. All right. And so, let's see, the blades are able to detach. So I'm going to take the double-sided lightsaber blade, or, you know, lightsaber, and detach the blades. So you just want to be careful because they are kind of on a thin peg, but you can essentially pull these out. I would probably suggest like twisting it a little bit as you pull. So you probably don't want to yank it because you don't want to break that thin peg piece, but there you go. So there's one side out right there. So here's the blade I just took out. And you can see it's got this nice little, where is it? There it is. It's got this nice little peg piece that pegs into the end. So you probably just want to kind of twist it as you're pulling out, you know, be gentle with it so you don't break it. But yeah. Fun fact, you know, in the show, she actually uses this, like, she uses her lightsaber like this most of the time. She actually only has like one blade ignited. There's only honestly like one instance where she uses the double blade, you know, both sides. But yeah, this looks really cool. So I'm probably gonna have her displayed mostly, you know, with the single blade like this. But for purposes of this review, I'm going to pull out the other blade as well because she does have a lightsaber storage, which is nice. She is one of those characters that they gave storage to, which I really appreciate. So let's see. Matter of fact, I'll go into her into more detail first, and then I'll put the lightsaber on her. And before I even do that, I will let you know that this split version with the two lightsabers of hers like this, when it's split, this is based on a very specific scene in Kenobi. So I'll just say that without spoiling anything major. I'm just gonna say that this is based on a very specific scene of hers. So really, really cool scene, by the way. So if you haven't seen Kenobi, man, go watch it. It's so dope. But let's get into Reva. So here we go. Here is our Reva the Third Sister, up close and personal. And like I said, man, they did a really nice job on the likeness for her. That head sculpt is pretty freaking nice. Let's get a nice up close look at that. Let's see, make sure I'm getting some good light on her face. Look at that. That is pretty spot on, man, to Moses Ingram. That looks really, really good. Really like how this head sculpt came out. It is a little shiny. And I don't know if you guys noticed in the Dark Side Vision Rey figure yesterday that her head was also a little bit shiny. I think a lot of the Black Series figures kind of have that issue with like the face scan. I don't know why it's turning out like that, but it's not too bad. It's not like super glossy, so it's not gonna make it look like really cheap or anything. It still looks like a high quality figure. So yeah, the face is done very nicely. Check out her hair, man. Look at that. I love how they did the hair for this figure. They really got the detail. Sorry, y'all. Phone be sliding on me. They really got in the detail for her hair. So I'm gonna really highlight that so you guys can see. She's got some really, look at that. She's got braids, and like the sculpt work on the braids is just amazing. Look at that. Look how nicely and realistically that was done. I mean, that's insane, man. She's got some really nice paint and sculpt work for the hair, and like the light. I like how you can still see like her scalp underneath. Like the paint was applied. You can see like the brown under there for her scalp. Very nicely done. I love this head sculpt. Definitely one of the best I've seen out of Hasbro. Like I said, they tend to do a pretty good job on the Black Series figures, so very happy with that. And yeah, her face looks good. The eye paint applications for the eyes and the lips are pretty good. I think they use like the dot matrix kind of thing, so when you get up close, the eyes start to look like kind of fuzzy and stuff. The same thing I noticed with the Rey figure yesterday. But from a distance, it looks really good. You just don't want to look super close to it. Have your eyeballs like right on it. But from a distance, it looks really nice. So yeah, really liking that. Paint for the lips and everything, eyebrows, everything looks good. So I'm very pleased with that. And let's see, we'll get into play and display, and then we'll take a closer look at her outfit. So, raising her arm, she can get her arm. She's got like a kind of semi-hard plastic for her shoulders, so you can get the arm up about that far before it starts to run into that this plastic shoulder piece right here, which isn't bad, basically like a 90 degrees, so not bad. I'll take it. And you can put that back down by her side. Nice stiff joints too, so that's good. The looseness. She can rotate. Yeah, you can just kind of like push past that plastic armor piece for her shoulder. It is soft enough to where it will flex, so you can push past that and just rotate it around. Very good. No bicep swivel or anything, kind of like Rey, but looks like we have a single jointed elbow that gets a lot of bend actually. That's pretty nice. Again, a lot better than 90, so that's really good. Liking that a whole bunch. Back out. She does have a wrist rotation, so her hands can rotate all the way around, and she does have a hinge. Let's see this hinge. Does she have a vertical hinge? Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So for her left hand, It looks like she actually has a vertical hinge. So her hand moves up and down instead of left to right, which is kind of cool because that's definitely going to help with a lightsaber pose because it follows the natural curve of her hand as she moves. So that's really cool. So we get vertical hinge on the left hand. Let's see about the right hand. Let's see, right hand. Right hand also has vertical hinge, so that's dope. That's interesting how they gave her vertical hinges, but they gave, Darkseid Rey horizontal hinges. But yeah, she has vertical hinges on the hand, so up and down movement. Let's see about the torso. She is able to bend back that far, which is pretty good. I like that. Going forward, decent as well, about the same as Rey. Could be a little more, but she gets a little bend going forward, so that's cool. Let's see, any swivel? Yes, she does get a nice waist cut swivel, so she can rotate at the waist as well. So you're gonna get a lot of dynamic posing from that. Let's check out the head. Head is on a ball peg, so we can look up. Oh, okay. I think it's a nice setup. So we got the ball peg that leads into the head, and I believe there's another ball peg from the neck, like the neck going into the torso. So it looks like the neck and the head can move kind of together. So that's going to get her a lot of extra range. Look how far she can look up. That's great. Looking down. Very, very good as well. I like that. She can look down pretty far like that. And then side to side, let's see. Very good. Very, very good. Full rotation. And any head tilting. Oh yeah, she gets some say what? Get a little bit of them say what's in there. Yes, sir. I like it. Say what? What'd you say to me? I like it. That looks dope. Very, very cool. All right. So moving on to leg articulation. She can kick forward. Let's see. As far as that'll go, there she goes. Gets a good 90-degree high kick out of that, or just about, yeah. Just about 90 degrees. There you go. Kicking back. She's got, again, some of that semi-hard plastic in the back, so she can you can kind of flex that a little bit, get her kicking back about that far, so that's nice. She has a upper thigh swivel, like Rey did, so nice thigh cut for rotation at the top there. Very, very good. Can line that back up. Looks like a single jointed knee. And the armor, the boot armor is kind of like a harder plastic, so it's only going to let her bend about that far before it runs into the rest of her leg, which isn't bad. I'll take that. She does get that knee rotation, which I forgot to mention in Rey's review, but yeah, it does. She can swivel at the knee, so she can like swing her knee around like that. So you do have that. And then for the feet, we can kick down. She can put her foot down like all the way on a hinge, kicking up. Goes that far, which is pretty good. And ankle rocker and rotation. Little pivot action in there. Very, very good. I like it. So I think that's a pretty decent batch of articulation. Let's see, out to the side. She gets about that much. Can't quite do the splits, but still pretty good. Let's get both legs out. Boom. Nice, aerial kicks and stuff. So I think that looks pretty good. I'll take it, And she does kind of have thick thighs, so that that will probably, restrict a little bit of outward movement, but hey, it works, man. It definitely works. So that's our play and display. And for those of you that don't know, play and display, whenever I say that now, that's just code word for articulation. So when you hear me say play and display, I'm talking about articulation, just so you know. All right. Let's see. Oh, what's going on with her arm here? Hold on. What's going on here? See, her shoulder pad seems like it's in a weird place right now. Let's see, maybe if okay, there we go. Interesting. Okay, kind of get that back into place. Interesting. So yeah, her shoulder pad, this softer piece on the outside was kind of like in a weird position right now, like it was like tucked on the inside of her arm instead of like outside over her shoulder. But I just kind of swiveled the arm around, and then it seems like it's attached to like a soft piece like in here, so I just kind of swiveled that around and got it back to be on the outside of like where it should be on her shoulder. So just be aware of that. The belt is kind of like a soft, or like this area, this section right here is kind of like a soft floating piece, so it kind of does have like some room for moving around and getting some good poses in there. But yeah, here's a nice up close look at her costume. I like the different levels of finish. So like for the upper armor, you got like a kind of like a semi gloss type of finish, nice shine to the armor. And then as you get like into like the legs, you got more of like a matte finish, but the detail, look at that detail. And the nice gray and the sculpted line work, that looks really, really good. I really like her outfit. This Inquisitor costume looks really, really good. Got the black right here. Got some cool line work going just above the boots. And then there's actually a lot of texture within the boots themselves. Look at that. Got the wrinkles and everything right there. Fire, man. Look at the bottom of the boots. Yeah, really pretty clean paint apps as well. Got the silver and then the silver and red section right here by the belt. And then these Inquisitor silver stripes up here. Looking really, really dope. And she does have a great cloth cape as well, which I'll lift up for just a sec so you can see the back. Boom. There is the back, the bootay, and the rest of her outfit. Looking really, really good. You can see some more of that nice sculpted detail and line work. Very, very nice. And then you can see on her right shoulder, she does have that Inquisitor symbol on that soft plastic piece, which is sculpted really, really nicely. So get some light on that. Boom. Check that out. See that Inquisitor symbol right there. Very, very nicely done. Like it a whole bunch. So that is really, really cool. Very, very good looking figure overall, man. I am very pleased and impressed with it. And here's the cloth cape again. Again, kind of like that see-through type of material that Ray had. So, but it is actually split in two, interestingly enough. I didn't know that it had a little split down the middle right there. So that's really cool. That's gonna be really cool especially if you can get like a way to hold it up or something in your display. It's gonna look really cool. Like she's got the wind going through her cape and it's kind of split. That is super dope. I like that a whole bunch. And I love the way, the kind of like ponytail kind of comes down and rests on her cape from the back. Oh man, it's just so dope, man. I love it. Such a cool figure. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put her lightsaber. Oh yeah, so she does, like I was saying, she does have lightsaber storage, which is nice. So on the side of her belt, kind of like towards the back here, if you guys, hopefully there's enough light on that, there is like a little hole right there, little peg hole. You see that on her belt right there? So you can plug in her lightsaber hilt, which I'm gonna do right now. So there you go. Let's see which would be a good way. Yeah, I guess it would be like this, huh? There you go. It seems, hold up. Probably should be this way, huh? All right, there you go. So there is her lightsaber plugged in on her side, and I love that. I love how that looks. That looks so dope, man. I love when Hasbro gives Black Series figures lightsaber storage. Definitely makes all the difference. Gives a just a greater look for display and everything. and you know, a place to store it on your figure without having to worry about losing it. So that's really really cool. I like that. Plugs in very nicely to her side there, and it looks great. So there you go. So there is Reva the Third Sister in the flesh. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put one of her blades back in and then show you how that looks with her holding it. And then we'll do measure out, do size comparisons, and sorry y'all, second time the phone slid on me. All right, here we go. Let's get this lightsaber in her hands. So you open that hand a little bit. There you go. All right. And there is Reva with her lightsaber ignited. One blade, a single blade ignition. Because like I said, that is primarily how she uses it throughout the show. Let me just fix her cape here a little bit. All right, make sure she's standing. Boom. Check that out, man. Reva the Third Sister. That is so cool, man. She looks very badass and intimidating. Look at that. Let's see if I can get her feet right. Them feet so she can stand properly. Good balance. Okay, there we go. Boom. There's Reva, man. Oh man, she looks amazing with that lightsaber lit up. Oh man, love it, love it, love it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure her out real quick. See how tall she stands. And she's gonna stand about to the top of her hair. She's gonna be just under 6 inches again, kind of like Ray. So yeah, about like 5.9 inches to the top of her hair. To the top of her head, like her scalp, without the hair included, she's gonna be about just over 5.5 inches again. So yeah, just slightly over 5.5 inches. So yeah, very good size on her. So I think that's appropriate. I'm not exactly sure how tall Moses Ingram is in real life, but I'm pretty sure they captured her height pretty accurately with this figure. So she should look good. She should look good next to these figures that I'm about to put her with. So here she is back here. There it is, Miss Reva. And let's get her with some size comparisons. So first up, we got the Mattel Movie Masters Man of Steel Superman. Slide her over right there. And there is Soups. Booyah, there you go. So you can see how those two look together. Really, really like how they're scaling. Superman's just maybe slightly taller, or they're about the same height if you count like the top of her hair. So that looks pretty good. Like that. And this is still one of my favorites Superman figures ever. I don't think I'll ever get the McFarlane one, to be honest. Let's get her next to another Black series. We got our Phase 1 Clone Trooper. So looks pretty good. Again, he's just like maybe slightly taller than her, but they're mostly the same height, so that's looking pretty good. Love it, love it, love it. So there you go. Put that aside. Let's get our G.I. Joe Snake Eyes Origin Storm Shadow. And they look pretty cool together. My guy with both of his swords out. So boom. They're about the same height as well, so that's cool. Let's get her next to Marvel Legends Mark 1 Spider Armor Spider-Man from the Retro series. Boom, there you go. Pretty close in height there. Yeah, almost like exactly the same height, so there you go. Let's get her next to some more ladies. Let's get her next to MCU Michelle Jones, MJ. Let's make sure she's standing here. There you go. Next to Zendaya. There you go. They look pretty good. Like it, like it. And let's get her next to Claire Temple from the Netflix Luke Cage series. Rosario Dawson. Very, very good. Very nice. Liking it a whole bunch. Let's get her next to Rey, of course. Dark Side Rey, my only other lightsaber wielding character from Black Series. And they're both dark side users, so there you go. Kind of crossing their blades there. And Rey's head is kind of down a little bit, but you can get a basic sense of the height between them. I think most Reva actually stands like a little bit taller, so that's probably accurate. Looks good. And last but not least, let's get our next to a bigger character who probably doesn't get enough love in size comparisons, to be honest. Here is ZD Toys in-game Thanos next to her. And you can see he towers over her quite nicely, as he should. Very big dude. And there you go. So that's it, guys. That's my review on Reva the Third Sister. If you haven't seen Obi-Wan Kenobi, man, definitely watch that show. If you're a Star Wars fan, definitely check it out. It's on Disney Plus. I'm sure there's probably other sites you can find that maybe are streaming it or something, but it is on Disney Plus. But it was a cool show. I really enjoyed it. Very, very excited for season 2. To see more about Reva's story and just watching her develop, because she was a really cool character in my opinion. Really, really liked her take on things and just how she moved. She was very ruthless and aggressive, but she had her reasons for the way she moved, and she was at the end of the day, she had heart. Even though she might have been on the wrong side of things, she definitely had a heart to her, so I can always respect that. But yeah, that's my review, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content, any new videos, any new figures. And yeah, appreciate you guys for watching. Yeah, so this has been your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with Reva the Third Sister. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless and take care. See you in the next one.